Hello, everybody. My guest today is Anne Gretland. And before joining her current company, Fotoware, she held the position of COO at Compello Group. She spent 17 years at Microsoft and held several leadership positions in Microsoft Norway and Western Europe headquarters. She's one of the founders of ODA, the largest network for women in tech in the Nordics, with 8,000 members. She's educated in the USA and Norway in communications, marketing, and leadership. And in 2017, she was named one of Norway's 50 leading IT women. Anne, are you ready to take us to the top?
I am.
All right. Fotoware. It's not your company, it sounds like. It sounds like you joined. Is that true?
Yes, I joined just before Christmas, and I'm very excited about it.
Okay. So I want to dive into what it does here in a second. But first, how long had it existed before you joined as CEO?
Well, the company has existed actually for 20 years. It was one of the first companies who invented something that they now call asset software management or asset management. It was founded by two photojournalists who worked in Norway, and they wanted to have an easier way to get the pictures that they took into a database so they could share it with a newspaper and other journalists. And so they were one of the first in the world to actually make such a system. And it turned out to be so popular that they thought, hey, let's stop being journalists and start making a software company.
So this was launched 20 years ago. So this would have been 1997 then.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So 1997. So were they running it all the way up to just before Christmas when you joined as CEO?
Well, they had they were running it up until 4 years ago when they had another CEO, and then now they switched because they wanted to think a little bit differently. They've been selling on-premise solutions mostly and growing organically. Selling big, heavy, high-end solutions, and of course now, as we know, it's a digital transformation.
So you're the cloud CEO. You're the cloud transition CEO.
I am the cloud CEO, actually. Yes, I am.
That's pretty funny. So that really was behind the CEO change. It was going from on-prem. You're making annual recurring revenue based off SLA agreements and service agreements. You're trying to now transition that to a pure cloud model, maybe a pure play SaaS.
Well, at least a very high percentage cloud. We certainly will have, as anybody, some on-premise solutions because some customers just have that need.
Security reasons.
Exactly. But I mean, we have an amazing product, and we have customers all over the world. So we want to reach out to those markets where we don't have to have a partner. It doesn't have to be in the city. We don't have to talk with them. They can buy online, and we can help them via the cloud, basically.
Yep. Okay, so this is curious. I love this because there's a lot of CEOs thinking just like you, that they're taking on-prem old solutions and trying to bring them to the cloud. So this is going to be a great interview. Yeah. Let's understand where you are today. So you joined a year ago. The transformation starts. What is your revenue split today in terms of on-prem revenue versus cloud revenue? Is it 50-50 yet?
Oh, no. It's not. I have to say, I only joined 2 months ago. So it wasn't a year. It was 2 months ago.
2 months.
And we have been selling infrastructure as a service solutions. And as you know, we only just moved then our solutions into a cloud, but it's not really platform as a service. So it's not really cloud. And so the split now, I'd say, would be about 80% on-premise and 20 cloud.
That's pretty good for 2 months of work.
Well, they've been, like I said, they've been working on it for a while, and then, selling cloud, but not real cloud. So now what we're doing is having a completely self-service platform service where a customer can go in, choose how they want to buy, how many users do they have, and then just basically do it online. And if they want a special made solution, then they can contact us, and they can contact our partners.
So on just the SaaS product, ignore all the legacy revenue, just the SaaS product, give me a general sense of size of customer. On average, what are they paying in a month? Are we talking $10 a month, $100, $1,000, $10,000?
It varies a little bit because we have some small customers, but we also have some large customers. I mean, we have some customers in the US. And we have some customers in Asia, and we have some customers in Norway that are buying our SaaS solution. So it would be anything from $500 a month to up to $20,000 a month.
Okay.
I mean, it all varies because it all depends also how much storage you need.
Yep.
So you might be a small customer, but you need a lot of storage because you have videos, you have pictures, and that means that you need to buy extra storage.
Yep. So you don't include the storage in the monthly plans. It's an upsell.
We do include storage, but if you have millions of files, that means that we're going to have to buy extra storage. So that means that you have to pay a little bit extra.
Got it. So you gave me a range, 500 to 20,000 a month. If I forced you though into an average, would you say somewhere in the like 3, 4, 5K range? Somewhere in there is fair or no?
Yeah, I
somewhere
would say
like that. Okay.
Right now it will be, yeah.
And who are these buyers? Are they big publishers with huge assets on hard drives in their storage closet? They want to move it to the cloud?
Yes, we have a wide range, a variety of customers. Some of them are the big publishing houses, and some of them are marketing departments all over the world. And we're seeing, as I'm sure you know, the DAM solution sell a lot in the marketing space. But what we have is we also have customers outside, let's say the normal. We have police customers. We have evidence-based customers. We have customers who are using our systems to find and locate pictures that not only have been taken because they want to use them, but they have been taken because they're part of a criminal investigation, for example.
Oh, interesting. Very interesting. Yes. So, okay, good. So, and what have you scaled this part of the business to? How many customers are you serving now? Are we talking hundreds or thousands in general?
We have about 10,000 users worldwide.
Okay.
And like I said, some customers have many users and some just have a few. But but basically why we want to go 100% into cloud is that we want to be able to scale.
Yep.
Because right now we're doing like a lot of customers, we're talking one-to-one, we're selling one-to-one, but we basically want to have a self-service platform where customers that don't require a specially made system, they can just buy it themselves.
So just to be clear, there are 10,000 seats across some amount of paying customers. How many? Yeah, go ahead.
About 4,000 customers.
4,000. Yeah. Okay, got it. So you've got on average, call it 2.5 seats per customer.
Yeah,
and
average.
Is that you? And who is that? What's their position typically inside that company?
It also will vary in terms of what the customer is. So at certain times it's those who work directly on, for example, we have some museums. So it will be the people who store and categorize, typical librarians or those who have responsibility for the pictures. In other companies, it will be the marketing managers. In other companies, it will be the police, or it will be typical photojournalists and journalists making, in the huge newspapers, making the story and making sure that they can get the pictures quickly and in the right size into the newspaper.
Okay. Now, Anne, I think this math is wrong here, and I know you're going to correct me. If I take those 4,000 customers times a monthly ARPU average of $3,000, that puts you at 12 million a month, which means you owe me a steak dinner. I don't think you're that big, though. Where's my math wrong?
I think that I also include a lot of the customers who have on-premise but recurring revenue customers, and so we also have, because we wanted the customers to get used to having the subscription way of thinking. And so we have a lot of customers who have on-premise solution that we actually are giving us subscription revenue. Okay. So I think that I'm doing the wrong math.
That's okay. So generally, I don't want to push too hard here, but generally speaking, are you guys doing north or south of, call it, 3 or 4 million a month today?
I actually can't say, because in my head I'm thinking Norwegian kroner, but you are thinking US dollars.
Oh wait, sorry. What metric are you in?
I'm in Norwegian kroner.
Okay, so how many of those? I have no idea what they are, but how many of those?
How many of those? What customers?
A month on average.
A month on average, I guess we would say, if we take, I guess we would say a little bit more than, I guess it will be 400,000 Norwegian kroner, give or take.
Got it. And so that's kind of where revenue is today. How do you think the business will grow as you shift to cloud?
Well, I know from experience that because I was through this shift when I worked in Microsoft, when Microsoft went from Office to Office 365, and when we went from on-premise server solutions to Azure. I know that we will see a little bit of a dip in revenue, but an increase in customers, because we're getting more customers, but they're paying less per license, right? Because they're used to paying a huge upfront amount, but now they're paying a lot less, and they're paying as they go and as they use. So we will see a dip in this year and probably the next year as well in revenue, but a huge increase in customers.
Interesting.
Because yes, exactly. So also that's what I discussed with the board when I was taken on. This is what we have to expect going forward, because making that shift, even though we're not even thinking about transcending the customers that we already have. Firstly, we want to reach out to new customers, and eventually those customers that we do have that buy on premise are going to turn to us and say, look, I don't want to have a server in the basement anymore. I don't want to be upkeeping the server. When I switch to new hardware now, no, I can't be bothered with it. I want to buy cloud. And then they're going to turn to us and our partners and say, hey, are you ready? Can I buy cloud from you? And that's when we need to be ready, because otherwise we're going to lose. Because so many producers and software vendors are offering cloud now.
They are. They are. Yeah, and I mean, look, size-wise, I just did the conversion. 400,000 Norwegian krone, I believe, is equal to about 50,000-ish US dollars. So you guys are doing about 600, 700 grand a year in revenue in United States dollars. And you think over the next 12 months, that might dip a little, but your market share will increase.
Yes, definitely.
Got it. Talk to me about team size. Where are you at today?
Well, we are 28 people altogether. Most of us are sitting here in Oslo. We have some people that sit in Australia, some people that sit in Russia, and some people that sit in Sweden.
Okay.
And all together, I just want to say this because I'm kind of proud of this. We are seven nationalities altogether.
I love that.
Yeah.
And where is the company? Is everyone based there in Norway?
Well, most of us are based in Norway, but some in Australia, some in Russia, some in Sweden.
Okay. Norway, Australia, Sweden. What was the last one?
Russia.
Oh, and Russia. Okay, good. So 20 people. And are you guys bootstrapped or have you raised capital?
We have grown organically. When the company was started 20 years ago, they actually made money from the second month.
That's
and
great.
They've been making money, and they have been profitable ever since. So they've just grown organically, and they've never taken on any extra capital from outside. And they just grown.
So, Anne, let me ask you a question. With 28 employees, if you pay them an average, salary of 60 grand a year, which is not that much in US dollars, that's about $140,000 a month in expense. But you guys are only doing right now 50,000. So how have you been able to keep a team size of 28 people but stay cash flow positive?
Well, I think then that we actually are profitable. So if I look at the I think that I'm messing up the dollar and the Norwegian thing, because I made a small calculation on the side here, and we are making $5 million on average a year.
Okay. So sorry, you were yes, there was an extra zero we left out. That's all.
Yeah.
So you are doing, just to be clear, I'm gonna do the math real quick. You are doing 4 million almost 4 million Norwegian krone per month, which comes out to 5 million, more than 5 million US dollars a year.
A year, yes, 5 million a year. That number I'm absolutely certain about.
Okay, good.
But I'm messing up a little bit the cloud thinking and the US dollar and the Norwegian.
That's
Sorry
okay.
about that.
No, it's tough conversions, but I'm going, there's no way they can be profitable with this much. Okay, now you're really profitable. So your headcount expense call it $140K a month. Your monthly recurring revenue in US dollars is 500 grand a month, or 4 million Norwegian krone. That's obviously hugely profitable. How are you acquiring customers? What's your customer acquisition cost look like?
I have no idea.
You don't know how you're getting customers?
I have no idea what my customer acquisition cost is, because I haven't even looked into the numbers yet. But what we have done, because when I started, we only had one marketing manager and we only had 2 people who were selling. And so obviously having a salesperson talking to people one-on-one is costly, right?
Yep.
Because those people cost a lot of money. And so we haven't really scaled anything with social media and social marketing yet. Since I started, we have increased our Facebook followers from 400 to 1,000, and that tells me also that. And so you asked for some numbers, and and 150,000 people visited our website last year.
Okay.
And 33,000 actually read our blog posts. So it means that when we put something out there, it certainly is of interest to people, but we haven't had the scale or the possibility to scale because we only had one person working with marketing.
Yep. But I see like on your profile, you guys sponsor the DAM conferences all over. So you are spending money on paid channels. You just don't know yet what your return is on those.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think that, when we start to scale really well and through social media, our acquisition cost will come down quite a lot because then we will reach a lot more people and scale without actually, talking to them or calling them.
Yeah.
To say.
Real quick, Anne, because we're out of time. Tell me about churn. What's your churn today?
Oh, well, actually, we looked at the churn. And so I can see that, what's very interesting about the churn? When it comes to January, I think we've lost about 13 customers.
Okay.
But they're all on premise. And
what percent is that, by the way, in terms of revenue churn? Do you know?
No. I haven't looked at the revenue churn. I only looked at the customer churn.
Okay.
Because I come from a marketing.
So 13 out of 4,000?
13 out of 4,000 for January.
Yep.
But when we see last year, we lost about 100 customers.
Yep.
On premise, but nobody on SaaS.
Interesting.
Which is very interesting, yes. And that actually confirms to me that when you have a customer on SaaS, that means, they're on a model. That means that they want the software, they're paying a monthly fee, and they're happy with that, and they can get updates. But when they're buying on-premise, they sort of shift. Now, I have to say that some of the customers who we've lost, we've only lost the subscription part of it. So the customer has already bought the software, and they're using it, but they just have said, no, I don't want to buy the subscription anymore.
Makes sense.
So that doesn't mean that we've lost the customer. It just means that we're they don't want to pay.
The revenue mix is changing.
Yes,
yeah.
Exactly.
Very good. Okay, let's wrap up quickly with the famous 5 one-word answers here. Number 1, what's the last business book you read?
Well, I keep reading. I just reread The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
That's a good one.
Because I love that. And I currently read Sheryl Sandberg's Lean In.
Good.
Being a woman in the IT industry, I think it's a really inspiring book. And then there's a book that I always keep coming back to, and that's The Tipping Point by Malcolm Gladwell. And the reason for that, every time I join a new job, I read that book because it reminds me that certain products really take off. Others don't, but they're equally good. Why? What's the tipping point? What do I have to do to make sure that our product is the one that actually makes it out there?
Yep. That makes good sense. And number 2 here, one-word answer. Is there a CEO you're following or studying right now?
Well, I really like Arianna Huffington.
Yep, she's great. Number 3, is there a favorite online tool you have for growing your business?
Well, I have several. Of course, Fotoware is the online tool that I use.
Besides your own.
We are using Microsoft Office 365 Teams right now.
Microsoft Office 365 Teams. Very good.
Yeah, because... Yeah.
Number 4, Anne, how many hours of sleep are you getting every night?
9.
Okay, that's pretty good. And what's your situation? Married, single, you have kiddos?
I am married. No kids.
No kids yet. And do you mind me asking how old you are?
I'm 47.
47. The reason I ask is because I want you to now take us back 27 years. What do you wish your 20-year-old self knew?
I think I would be very pleased to know how well it turned out. Because I've always followed my gut and my integrity and my instinct. And I thought, maybe I should have gone to become a leader in a management position earlier. But I felt that I needed to learn first. And now I'm happy that I took those steps. But I would have probably told myself, don't worry, keep working. It's going to work out. You'll make it in the end.
There you guys have it from Anne. You'll make it in the end. It will all be okay. She joined Fotoware just 2 months ago. They were launched in 1997. Now 28 people, transitioning and really started as file storage, on-premise solutions. I'm talking servers in the basement, kind of on-prem. They're now shifting under Anne's efforts to a pure play cloud model, SaaS model. As they transition, revenue will be flat and maybe decline for a little bit, but their market share will drastically increase. They're serving 4,000 customers, paying on average $125 a month. That's how you get $500,000 in monthly recurring revenue, which is again 4 million Norwegian krone per month. Less than 3% logo churn annually. That's about 100 out of the 4,000. So that's healthy. Again, team all based between Norway, Australia, Sweden, and Russia. And thank you for taking us to the top.
Thank you.